classification of microbes. Okay. So last time we had complete all our 3 major kingdoms which we studied under the 5 kingdom classification of Sir Robert. Yes, sir.
Sorry to disturb. Yeah, stop the annotations, ma'am. Disable the annotations.
1 second.
I think so. It's gone, ma'am. Annotation is not.
Yeah, it has been stopped, but I am still able to see few of the changes done. Are you able to see those marks on the screen which is there?
Yeah, but now I think so. It is not. The annotations are not being used. Okay. You can like erase it, and we can start it over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me quickly share my screen again.
Yeah, ma'am. That's good.
Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So last lecture we had completed about our 5 kingdom classification given by Sir Robert Whittaker. And in that we studied 3 major kingdoms. Number 1 being Kingdom Monera. Number 2 being Kingdom Protista. And number 3 that is Kingdom Panjai. I hope you remember the pictures and the examples and what all we have studied. Okay? So today we will be diving corely into classification of microbes. Now this is going to be our new topic. Okay? Before that, let me remind you, please be ready with a book and pen because we will first discuss dictionary words. I'll first explain it to you and then I'll give you time to write it down. Okay? Let's proceed. So our first dictionary word is independent. What do you mean by independent? We have heard about this word, but when it comes to biology, irrespective it is botany or zoology, when I'm saying that an organism is independent, that means the specific organism is not dependent for any other activity on another organism. Let's say if I'm saying plants. So are plants independent? Yes. But what are they dependent on? They need sunlight. If they have, can give us oxygen and they can prepare their own food. So plants are independent. But we are carnivorous, we are heterotrophs, and we are dependent organisms. Okay? Our second word is solitary. Now, what do you mean by the word solitary? Solitary means an organism which can stay alone, which will not be seen in groups. Example I'll give you. If I'm talking about tiger. So a tiger is an animal which is solitary, which will live alone. Whereas if you will see elephants, they'll be always in a group. Okay? This is how we use the word solitary when it comes to biology. Now let's move on to our third word. Our third word is colonial. Now what is colonial? This specific term is used for organisms living in groups. Now here when I'm saying colonies, I am specifically referring this word to small organisms. Okay? Now if I'm talking about bacteria, will I find only one bacteria on a contaminated place? No, there'll be plenty of them. So such plenty of bacteria, can I say, excuse me for the background voice. So when I'm referring plenty of bacteria, I cannot say that there is only one, there are many of them. So for such organisms, these are group of organisms which live in groups or which live in colonies. So I will say a specific organism is colonial. That means it shows a behavior to stay together in colonies. Okay. You do not have to write this now. Let me first explain, then I'll give you time to write. The next word is fission. Fission ka meaning is anything which is breaking down either into 2 parts, 3 parts and 4 parts. So it is breaking down of something to give us smaller parts. Okay? It is as similar as a word called as division. When I'm saying fission, that means a bigger portion has been broken down into smaller portion. Whereas when I'm using the word fusion, that means smaller portions are coming together to form one bigger portion. Okay? So the meaning of fission is breakdown of something or divide and form smaller parts. We will go to our next word, which is binary. Whenever you listen to this word binary, please remember bi means 2. So anytime you have binary word popping up, remember it has to do with number 2. When I'm saying there is binary fission, that means there is breakdown of a bigger molecule or of a bigger thing into 2 smaller molecules. Okay? Let's move on to our next word. Now this is an interesting word. Okay? Parasite. You also have maybe a movie with this name. What is parasite? Parasite are organisms which are not independent or which cannot prepare their own food. So obviously I cannot call them as autotroph, but these are heterotroph. So even humans are heterotrophs. Are we parasites? No. Why? Because parasites का एक specific pattern होता है. What is this pattern? I'll tell you. Parasites are the organisms which will be dependent either for food or for shelter on another organism. मतलब ये खुद के फूड के लिए एंड खुद के शेल्टर के लिए किसी और ऑर्गेनिजम्स के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट रहेंगे. Now they will have to take help of this other organism. Correct? This other organism will be called as host organism. मतलब जिससे इनको हेल्प मिलेगी. Such organisms will be called as host organism. ठीक है? It will harm the same organism जिससे इस पैरासाइट ने हेल्प ली है. Well, I'm repeating this once again. I know there's slight a bit unstable connection. So this parasite, ये क्या करेगा? ये जिस भी host organism, yes, I'm repeating, don't worry. This parasite will be dependent either for food or for the shelter on another organism. ठीक है? Correct? What will parasite do is, parasite will not thank that host organism. In return, it will harm the host, or it can so much harm the host organism that it can also kill the host. समझ में आया? So such type of organisms which will be dependent on another organism. Nishant sir, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is clear. The voice is not lagging.
Yeah, because many students are messaging me on private that the voice is not audible. Now is it clear, right?
Yes, it is clear, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so parasite will be dependent on another organism. किसी और organism के ऊपर dependent रहेगा. जहां से इस पैरासाइट को हेल्प मिलेगी. The help can be either into two forms, either for food or for shelter. ठीक है. हेल्प मिलने के बाद ये पैरासाइट उस होस्ट ऑर्गेनिज्म, मतलब जिस ऑर्गेनिज्म से इसको हेल्प मिली है, उसी को हार्म करेगा. It can harm that host organism till such an extent that there might come a time it can also kill the host organism. And एक बार host organism को kill कर दिया, it will go and affect another host organism. Understood? I'll just read out the meaning for you. Parasite is an organism which is dependent on another organisms. It can stay on the host organism, and at the end, it can also harm them. Okay? Next is the word called as pathogen. Now, what is pathogen? Pathogen is any disease causing organism. Any organism or any microbe, to be specific. Let it be bacteria, let it be protist. If that small organism or microorganism is capable of causing disease inside your body or infecting your body, that specific microbe will be called as pathogen. It is a disease causing organism or germ. Okay? Now you all can quickly write them. I'm giving you one to 2 minutes. Please copy them. Okay, now let's move on. All your doubts are there. Let's move on with starting of classification of microbes. I hope you know the meaning of microorganism. Micro means extremely small, and organisms are living beings. Okay, so there's going to be one more chart. Last time we had studied chart about living organisms, which were divided into two major groups. First being prokaryotes and second being eukaryotes. यहाँ पे भी कुछ similar chart है, ठीक है? Now, before going with the chart, I want you to be introduced to few calculation. Now, what is this calculation? It is nothing but it is your conversion of your 1 meter into smaller units. Okay? The first one is 1 meter is equal to 10 raised to 6 that is micrometer, also called as mu m. मतलब मैं अगर 1 मीटर को 10⁶ में divide करती हूँ, that means 6 zeros after 1. I'll be calling it as micrometer. Each one unit will be calling as micrometer or mu m. Are you able to see this? In the bracket, what is given? A special symbol, which very much is similar to cursive m. This is called as mu. Okay? And how do we convert? 1 meter is equal to 10⁶ micrometer. मतलब 10 के आगे 6 zeros आएंगे. Or else you can simply call it as mu m. अगर मैंने किसी चीज को mu लगा दिया, if I am saying it is 2 mu m, that means it will be is equal to 2 into 10⁶ micrometer. ठीक है? कहीं पे भी अगर mu m आ रहा है तो समझ लो कि उस नंबर के आगे 6 zeros आएंगे. That is its value. Okay. Now let's move on to next conversion. 1 meter is equal to 10⁹, which is nothing but nanometer. And nanometer is written as small nm. That means after 1 you have 9 zeros. This e plus 9 is exponential 9. मतलब 10 के 1 के आगे 9 zeros. समझ में आया? 1 meter is equal to 10⁶ micrometer. It is also called as mu m. And 1 meter is equal to 10⁹ nanometer, nm. Please remember these two are very, very important conversions because this can be asked to you whether in MCQ or in match the following. Because further we will be studying microbes based on their size. And if I have to study microbes based on their size, I need to have specific units. So मैं क्या करूँगी? छोटे microbe से बड़े वाले microbe तक उनको divide करूँगी based on their size. And the sizes will be denoted by using these units, either mu m or nm, that is micrometer or nanometer. MCQ का meaning is multiple choice question. It is as good as fill in the blank with options. ठीक है? Now let's move on to our next slide. Now this is our chart of classification of microbes. Now these microorganisms are further divided into two major categories. Obviously you know the answer. The first category is prokaryotic organisms. And the second category is of eukaryotic organisms. Now tell me what is prokaryotic? Pro means primitive, purane wale. Prokaryotic organisms are the organisms which will have primitive type of cell and the cell will not show a well-defined nucleus. Correct? Instead, eukaryotic cells, meaning new type of cell. These are the advanced type of cells shown in the body of eukaryotes, and the cell will show a well-defined nucleus. I'm pretty sure by now you're knowing the meaning of what is the difference between a prokaryotic cell and a eukaryotic cell. Okay. Now further, we will classify prokaryotic cell into the first type of microorganism, and prokaryotic cell will be showing bacteria. So the first class of microorganisms is bacteria, and bacteria are prokaryotic in nature, meaning that means they will show absence of well-defined nucleus. Meaning of primitive is old generation, purana is primitive. Okay? And the example of bacteria which we have studied earlier, you remember we conducted an experiment. We have taken a curd, we have mixed it in water, then we saw it under slide, and under slide we saw a rod shaped bacteria, and the name of rod shaped bacteria is bacillus, right? Rod shaped bacteria का नाम है bacillus. So this is our first type of microorganism which we will be studying. Prokaryotic में एक ही type का microbe हमें पढ़ना है. Now let's move on to eukaryotic type of microorganisms. That means these are the microbes which will show advanced type of cell with well-defined nucleus inside them. Okay? And under eukaryotic microorganisms, we have three categories. Okay? The first one is Protista. And what is the example of Protista? The most classic example? You know this, right? Paramecium. Okay? Let's move on to the second type of eukaryotic microorganism, which is fungi or fungi. An example of fungi is Plasmodium. What is Plasmodium? I'll tell you. Where do we find it? By the way, Plasmodium is also parasitic. It's an example of a parasite. The fourth category, which is new to you, is algae. What are algae? You must have studied this, right? Algae को हम लोग, and now if maybe in monsoons, if you will go to a pond or a lake water body, over the lake you will see a lot of greenish small plant like structure which are not actually plants. These are nothing but these are algae, जिसको हम लोग मराठी में शेवाल भी कहते हैं. Correct. ठीक है? And the example of algae is cholera. Understood? Now, whatever you are able to see on your screen is again your important question and answer. This can either be asked as a 2-mark question to draw the diagram of the chart along with one example, or it can be also asked as a brief. Explain in detail classification of microorganisms. So number 1, you will be drawing this chart, and number 2, you will define them in at least 1 or 2 lines with an example. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, now let's study this classification of microbes one by one in detail. Okay, for today we will be learning bacteria, which comes under prokaryotic group. And if we know if it is prokaryotic, most of the times it will be unicellular as well. What is unicellular? Organism whose entire body is made up of only single cell. Okay? So let's move further to our next slide. Starting with bacteria. Now we will first understand different types of bacteria based on shapes. So I might kindly request you to switch off your video. It is popping up in between. Thank you. Okay. Bacteria which is spherical, round in shape is called as coccus. Okay? Bacteria which is circular or spherical in shape, it will look like pearl, will be called as coccus type of bacteria. अगर सिंगल बैक्टीरिया है तो मैं उसको कॉकस कहूंगी. अगर बहुत सारे ऐसे बैक्टीरिया है जो कॉकस शेप में है उसको मैं कोकाई कहूंगी. COCCI. ठीक है, remember round spherical shaped bacteria है, it will be called as coccus. ठीक है, if I have rod shaped bacteria, we have studied this earlier, if I have rod shaped bacteria, I will call it as bacillus. rod shaped है तो मैं उसको कहूंगी bacillus. If I am having a bacteria which is rod shaped and which is also rounder, ठीक है, काफी curvier edge है, such type of bacteria will be mixture of coccus as well as bacillus, and I will call such bacteria as coccobacillus. Sounds interesting, right? Okay. If I have bacteria which is more spring-like in shape, which is more spiral in shape, such type of bacteria will be called as spirillum, or you can also call it that spirillum. This is the fourth type of bacteria based on its shape. Now the last type of bacteria, easy to identify, this bacteria will show a slight comma shape. Okay? And when you see comma shape, the name of the bacteria will be Vibrio. So these are the 5 types of bacteria based on shape. Rounder coccus, rod shaped bacillus, rounder and rod shaped coccobacillus, spiral spirillum, and comma shaped Vibrio. Your textbook has not given how the names are derived. Therefore, please remember and try to write it down when I am explaining, at least for your own self. Okay, now let's start with the characteristics of bacteria. Okay, number 1, they will be unicellular. That means the entire body will be made up of single cell. Number 2, they might be independent or parasitic. Independent मतलब किसी के भी ऊपर dependent नहीं रहेंगे, and parasitic, that means they can be dependent on their food, thereby harming the host organism. Now I hope while I am teaching you are able to understand the meaning of the words. Correct? Yes. Third point, they can be also in colonies. That means they will show colonial type of behavior. That means they will live in groups. Now we cannot say bacteria are in groups, right? So specific term for bacteria, because they are very small organisms, we will say they are also seen in colonies. Okay? Next, they are prokaryotic organisms with cell wall. Now you will have a doubt that if they have cell wall, why don't they photosynthesize? Now, plants have cell wall and they photosynthesize. But do bacteria have chloroplast inside them? No, because size of chloroplast, a cell organelle, is so big, which is bigger than actual size of bacteria. समझ में आ रहा है? Chloroplast is cell organelle, correct? It is inside a eukaryotic cell. Size of chloroplast itself is bigger than the bacteria. Therefore, these are the organisms which are prokaryotic with cell wall, which will not photosynthesize. Not all of the bacteria will photosynthesize. I know that there are few exceptions, but they are very less. Okay? The next point, bacteria will show reproduction, which will be simple binary fission. What is simple binary fission? That one bacteria will be stretched, it will elongate, lamba ho jayega, and this will be divided into 2 smaller bacteria. Now you must have seen your mom preparing chapatis. How does she handle dough? She takes a huge dough and then she, takes out smaller pieces out of the dough, right? Imagine a big dough is just divided into two smaller parts. This is how exactly bacteria's reproduction will look like. Simple binary fission. Binary matlab into two, and fission means dividing into smaller parts. Understood? Okay. Now, whenever a bacteria receives favorable conditions, now what are favorable conditions? Favorable matlab favorite conditions. Now, we as humans will require conditions in which we can survive. We will be absolutely okay if we'll go to Antarctica without wearing any external jacket or sweater? No. Why? Because those are unfavorable conditions for us to live. करेक्ट? वैसे ही जब भी बैक्टीरिया को उसके तरह का फेवरेबल कंडीशन मिल जाएगा, it will double its population फटाफट by reproduction within 20 minutes. Understood? They are unicellular, they are independent, they can be parasitic as well. They are also seen in colonies. They are prokaryotic with cell wall. Reproduction is by simple binary fission. And on getting or on receiving favorable condition, it doubles its population into just 20 minutes. Okay, so we have completed with our bacteria the first very type of microorganisms. Okay, examples we have already studied about example. Now, what is the size range of bacteria? Bacteria will range from size of 1 μm, that is 1 nanometer. Nanometer, micrometer? Micrometer, correct. That is 10 raised to 6 micrometer. So that 1 μm to 10 μm will be sizes of different type of bacteria. Correct? Please do not forget, this is extremely important to remember the size of bacteria. Sizes of bacteria will be from 1 μm to 10 μm. Okay? Now let's move on to our second type of microorganism. Which is the second type? Protista. And we have already studied about Protista while we were studying the 5 kingdom classification. Correct? So before starting with characteristics, I just want you to give a quick reminder or a quick images so that you will be able to at least remember them. Otherwise, when we are meeting in next week, tab tak 15-day ka gap ho jayega and you will forget them. Okay? Starting with the very first classic example of Protista is Paramecium. I hope you're remembering the cilia and everything around its cell wall. Then you have amoeba, irregular ribbon shape, and it will show presence of pseudopodia. Correct? Then you have autotrophic protist, and this one is called as Volvox. And the last example, again, an autotrophic bacteria showing presence of chloroplast. Its name is Euglena. Please do not forget them. These are the organisms which we find in dammed places, in water bodies, in ponds, lake, near, near grasslands and everything. Okay, so next time when we start, we will directly start with the characteristics of Protista. Cool? Nishant sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm done with today's part.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.